Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching us from. Thank y'all for joining the live stream. I was supposed to have been on at 9:30 Philippine time, but I was at the grocery store. I had to reschedule. Shout out to the NTZ crew. I believe I saw there's Jacob Tanjay and Michael Beecher Life. I know Michael Beecher Life. Yeah, he went to the Sunulu. Shout out to the old heads. That's Doubtful Genius, Reginald Wallace, Roger Walker, Michael Dawsonville. I thought I saw Jeffrey Tatter on here. I did. Freddie Sanders. And all the old heads on here. Thank y'all for y'all support through the years. Any new viewers and subscribers watching for the first time, welcome. Any new visitors to the Philippines watching right now, and you're here in the Philippines, welcome. Anybody catching this on replay, the peso is 56.36. Wow. It shot back up there again.
But they're just only an hour.
Yeah, it's only going to be there for an hour, Marilyn said. What's up? What time is it, Travels? Your brass? He says, hey, I don't see you. But you know, we always have a topic. The topic today is Expat Alley, the gateway to the Philippines for the new man and woman. And we're just going to talk about why these cities are so important to the new man and woman coming over here for a slow vacation or to relocate. We're not talking about visitors and tourists. We're talking about people who are going to be here for a considerable period of time. And why these are just my cities. Everybody else has maybe have their own expat alley. But that's where 90% of the expats are in the Philippines, in these cities I'm going to talk about. And of course, this is your live stream, really, okay? If you want to talk about something, put it over here. I'll talk about it if I can get to it. But, you know, it's a sad note today. The Navy ID'd those two Navy SEALs lost at sea off the coast of Yemen. But I'm going to tell you something. When you sign up for a mission like that, or to be a SEAL or in the military, you're talking about the commitment, because one SEAL, you know, they was approaching the boat that they were going to commandeer and, you know, seize the weapons. Well, one of the SEALs fell off in the rough seas at night. And if you've ever been out to sea at night, you know how pitch black it is. Well, protocol means the other SEAL has to go in and save him. And that's what he did, man. And they both were lost. After 10 days, they stopped searching for him, man. But the dedication, you know, the commitment like that, man. And I was thinking, why can't we as expats have that type of commitment? Not to the point where you're going to give up your life for somebody, but why can't we get along at least, you know, follow these guys' example? Man, this guy jumped in to rescue his comrade, man, and they both died, man. Young guys, man. You know, to be a SEAL, you got to be one of the toughest son of a guns on the planet. And we lost two of them, man. But it just touched me, man. Just to think, you know, that what that second guy was thinking. I wish I had somebody like that had my back like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the stuff that makes your hair on my arm raise up. You want to talk about heroes, man. We use that word too much. That second guy that jumped in that water, yeah, that's a hero for you. You know, okay. Yeah, that's a hero for you, man. You know, not some guy that catches the pass at, you know, the last second in the fourth quarter. He's not a damn hero. He's a sports athlete. Yeah, being a SEAL is no joke, man. And my hats off to them guys, and condolences to their families, man, because damn. Yeah, man, you know, never leave them behind. I'm just saying, why can't we just get along over here? Hell, that would do me good. But also, you know, a guy put a good comment under my last video about, you know, dying for love in the Philippines, the dangers of online dating. Now, I do a video like that every couple of months to kind of shake people awake and, you know, let them know that you can't be sleepwalking on these dating sites and stuff. I mean, if Filipinos weren't everything that we said they were, the good women and all of that, there would be more horror stories of men dying, and there would be more horror stories of men losing their life savings. But it's not, because for the most part, the women that you meet online, they're good women. But he said, okay, I'm sorry. He says, I believe some people are going to have to take another look at Big Shirley. And at first, I was getting ready to write, no, it's going overboard. But the more I thought about it, I was like, well, you know, maybe he's right. Maybe it's too much for some guys, but I don't know. I can't make that call. I'm not going to try to tell a grown man what to do. But it got me to thinking, because the second story I told was so tragic, man. It was so tragic. This Filipino had bad intentions from the beginning. But I can't get through to you guys. This guy met this woman in April online. Okay, so you know, he's 72, she's 30. They're chatting. It doesn't say how long they've been chatting. But they got married in October. See, that's the first thing he done wrong right there. And then he's dead in December, man. This lady had no good intentions from the start. She went online looking for a victim, is what I'm saying. And then the way that they killed the man, they're gonna suffocate the man like that. Hey, Elliot. But everybody, you know, when you talk about this stuff, when you put these videos out there like that, everybody says, oh, it's not going to happen to me. It's always the next man. We're in denial. All I'm saying is, right now, is if we just slow down and take our time and get to know the women or the men that you're chatting with. That's all. Before you making all of these rash decisions. You know, I said 2 years. Hey, Jay Shabazz, thanks for your support, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Jacob Chanjay. But if you say for him, but no, this was worse than for him, because she didn't wait for him to die. She murdered him. But I say 2 years, of course, you know, you're not going to wait 2 years, so at least a year. I mean, you know, April, let's say May, June, July, August, September, October. 6 months, he gets married to the woman. And then 2 months later, he's dead. I mean, you got to get to know him. I mean, they can't hide for years. Something's going to come out. Somebody's going to say something. She's going to do something. Because the guy gives her 100,000 pesos, man. That's the equivalent of giving a woman in America $100,000. I'm not talking about the exchange rate. I'm talking about how difficult it would be for the average Filipino to come up with 100,000 pesos in her hand at one time. The same degree of difficulty as it would take one of them chicken heads in America to come up with $100,000 at one time. Very, very difficult. Marilyn said 10,000 is hard. She said most people over here, they never had it in their hand. He gave 100,000. That's not enough, man. So they concoct a plan to kill the man. Now then, you know, if you read the article, I want you to read it because I want you to see how people are thinking. Here's what this woman told the police. Now, I don't know if it's true. She says, when she tried to kill him, she couldn't do it. She said, I stopped because I felt sorry for him. She felt so sorry for him that she called up the ex-boyfriend and told him to come over and finish the job. Man, y'all better be careful who y'all dealing with on these. At least know for a fact who you're dealing with. What's up, TJ? He said, just tuning in. Thailand turns this into an 8:30 start and my eyes can't handle it. Yeah, well, I actually was a little later today. I was at the grocery store. I was in line and I looked at my phone here. It was 9:09. I said, I'm not going to make it. Hey, Ellen, thank you. Yeah, ruthless, Jacob. She had bad intentions to begin with. There was no love or anything. She wanted to get somebody over, and I guess once she found out the money that he had, right? So I'm going to ask you right now, if you're over here right now and you with your woman, you probably already married her, you certainly living with her, or you chatting with somebody. How well do you know her or him for real? How well do you know him? Stephen Alley says, do they even investigate when an expat is found dead? They do, but, you know, it's really quick. You know, but I really can't say that, Stephen, because they take it out of the public eye real quick. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But, yeah, they'll investigate it because it's over here. It's like a community in the Philippines. The police know who did it the same damn day. In a lot of these cases, they'll know already who did it. And then, because they found him, he had went back to the province and they found him, the man who did it, who actually did it, because she felt sorry for him. So she calls him in because had he just been more patient, and I'm not blaming the victim, he would have known that, hell, she's still dealing with the ex, he called him. Hell, they've been together 10 years with 3 kids. There's no ex. He's still in the picture. But I just wanted to say, just get to know the women, man, because, you know, it should be more stories like that. The way we stick our necks out. But it's not, because the women over here are genuinely good. I'm not going to lie to you. If it wasn't, guys wouldn't continue to come over here. Even the big guys that, you know, the Brads and the experts, they're married and dating Filipinas. So you just got to get to know them, though, guys. Just tuning in, W Secrets of Success says it's good that you are finally telling the dark side of the Philippines. Come on, man. I've been giving you the 360 for as long as you've been following me. I've already done 2 other videos like this, W Secrets of Success. Where you been? Where I'm giving both sides of the story. Because if there was both sides of the story, that Australian man came over here and killed that young Filipina. And he gave his ass 40 years. They should have killed him. They should have gave him the death penalty for doing that to that young lady. You know, so, but yeah, I've been giving it the nitty gritty, man, for ever since I've been on here. It can't happen anywhere, but I'm in the Philippines. I've got to tell you that because people who are watching me are coming over here. I'm saying that if the women we were not dealing with were not as good as we say they are, and the country wasn't what, for the most part, we say it is, there would be more instances of that because we stick our necks out. We're marrying women. Look at the guy, what's his name, James. And he gonna claim, oh yeah, we chatted for 2 years. I don't give a damn. That means nothing. You gonna come over and marry a woman after 2 weeks. The only reason that it's gonna go good is because you got a good woman. But I wouldn't suggest anybody do that. Hey, Robert Dame, thanks for that super chat. He said, don't do anything over there that you wouldn't do here. Double trouble. Stay in your lane. Friends first. Faster crashes harder. That's my saying. Yeah, but what we do is we repeat the same mistakes over here, Robert. I mean, these women aren't going anywhere, or men, or whoever you're dating over here. They're not going anywhere. You owe it to yourself to vet them, to make sure she's who she says she is, or him, or whatever. This guy got married really, really quick, and it cost him his life. Yeah, she had 3 kids at 30 years old. Now, if you go back in I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all think I'll just be yapping over here. I said, if a woman's 30 years old, is not married and has 3 kids or more over here, that's a red flag. I don't care what she looks like. You got to get rid of that. I said that years ago. What's up, Lonnie Franklin? I'm just telling y'all what I'm seeing. That's all. I'm not an expert on the Philippines or Filipino people. I'm not even an expert about Americans. I'm just telling you what's going on around me. When I read that story, it shocked me, man. I was like, wow. He met the girl in April and they killed him. He didn't die. They killed him in December. Yeah, some of them are so thirsty. Jabraz says you never know who you're dealing with until you spent a good amount of time with them and you're actually listening and paying attention. See, this is common sense, though. What did I say we do when we come over here? We throw it out the window for some reason. Because she's young, because she's attractive, because we've got low self-esteem. Oh, she's going to get away. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I better marry her now. It's so bad that the man's family didn't even want his name printed in the paper because they probably told him, they probably warned him, hey, what are you doing? Slow down. Because I'd rather lose my life savings than my money. But then again, I'd rather keep both of them. I'd rather keep my money and my life. But y'all not going to listen, man. Yeah, well, he just didn't get unlucky, R68 DVR. We don't get lucky. We get unlucky because most of the women we meet, it doesn't matter where you meet them. They're good women, man. I'm just telling you the truth. The majority of the women you meet over here are good women. If they wasn't, there would be more stories because we do everything wrong. James did everything wrong, but he's not the only one. I see it all the time. But it works out because the woman doesn't have those bad intentions to begin with. But this woman did. She did. She had it out for him. She was going to kill. She had probably made up in her mind, I'm going to kill me somebody and take all their money. This man gave her 100,000 pesos. Shit. It's a lot of damn money over here. For somebody that's not working, you got 3 kids, you got a drug addicted boy, a living partner. That's a fortune. You could have opened up a business or something. But no, they got greedy. Then even she said, oh, he told me he was going to build a 3.6 million peso house and help my family. Well, damn it, you didn't give him time to do it. He's dead in 6 damn months. You killed him. Really 2 months after you married him. Like, wow. Hey, what's up, Chase? He says the Philippines is probably the nicest country in the world. Can't think of another country with nicer people than the Philippines. That's the reason why stories like this stick out. It's like an airplane crash. They happen so infrequently that when they happen, it's front page news. But it should happen more. If they were as bad as what some of these vloggers and people tell you, it would be story after story after story. He said, I love the child says, since when has online chatting been equivalent to a date? This is the way they've got. These are geniuses we're dealing with these dating sites. That's what they call them, dating sites. I guess for you to get a date. But we don't get a date. We sit on there and chat until we fall in love or in lust or whatever it is. The diplomat says American dies abroad. Council Affairs, which provides arrangements, citizen services to people overseas, will work closely with whichever embassy or consulate is working on the case. Yeah, but they don't do a whole lot. They don't do a whole lot. They certainly are going to help expatriate your body back. They don't help with that. They don't help with funeral services. They don't help with anything, really. Yeah, but and he's right. See, Jay Shabazz is right. He said, but the U.S. won't usually investigate. That's left to the local authorities. Instead, the State Department remains informed of what's happening with the investigation and acts as a liaison between, the family and the authorities. That's what they do. They're not going to do anything because once they leave outside of that embassy, you're in Filipino jurisdiction. They will tell you that. Go on to travel.state.gov. We can't help you. You're under Filipino law when you come over here. There ain't no sense in you trying to reach out to them. They're not going to help you. Ron Lawson says you vet them when they feel offended. Of course not. I mean, what do you mean? They're not going to know. You're just going to be hanging around. You're going to be looking. How they going to know you vetting them? You're just going to be looking for every red flag you can see, which is if she has bad intentions like this lady did, you're surely going to see if she's going to keep asking over and over and over. I thought you were going to get the 3 million. I thought you was going to build a house. I thought you were going to help my family. She's doing that every day. I mean, you don't need to vet her. That's it right there. She vetted herself. But you're gonna know stuff like, oh, is the boyfriend still around? Does she have children? Because she's probably gonna tell you she don't have children till after you marry her. Are you already in too deep? Angelo Habib says the Golden Gate, and I'm depressed as fuck because of my parents and my kids. I didn't think it would be this hard. Well, come on, man, don't beat yourself up. Take a damn break. If you come over here and you feel, hey, I need to remember the plane goes back and forth. Angelo, man, you should be. When's the last time you took a break, a vacation or something like that? I mean, because I'm gonna tell you something. If you're not gonna be any good to your children and your parents if you sit there and die of a heart attack, or you laying in a nursing home from a stroke. I mean, it's not like you're leaving the planet, man. Come on, lighten up, man. It's not that bad. I wouldn't beat up myself like that, man. You're being too hard on yourself. Yeah, you're welcome. You just look at it as if you're going on a vacation. Does your children live with you now, or are they with your ex? Are you seeing them every single day? But yeah, don't beat yourself up, man. It's not that serious. Stephen Ellie says probably both had the plan to kill him long before he ever got on that plane. Yeah, once they figured out he had some money. But I can assure you that most Filipinos don't think like that. Okay, but it's up to you to figure out if they do. But let's get over here to the topic. Expat Alley, the gateway to the Philippines for the new man and woman. And I thought that I would talk about this subject because people always ask me, is it Manila or Cebu? Like that's the only two places, but it's really not. And this is just my expat alley. Okay, these are where 90% of the expats are. And this is where you want to get your feet wet when you come to the Philippines, because you don't want to come straight to San Carlos City or any of those other places, because it's not going to be a smooth transition. I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's one of the reasons I made this list. But, you know, everybody's got their own. Subic Bay, up that area. Angeles City, because, you know, they got Angeles City, then they're building this new Clark City, but they're just really in such close proximity to themselves. Metro Manila, anywhere in Metro Manila. Cebu City, Cagayan de Oro, Dumaguete, Bacolod City, Iloilo City, Davao, General Santos, and Zamboanga City. Now, I may have missed a place or two, but these are generally the urban cities. So when you fly in here, it's going to lessen the culture shock for you. This will be a good place for you to get your feet wet and get your first taste of the Philippines. Am I going to like it? Okay. And, you know, if you want to meet a woman, this is where all the women are. 25% of the people in the Philippines are in Metro Manila. But I just call it Expat Alley because this makes an easy, smooth transition. And that's what you want. You know, we fail to realize this is an intercontinental travel. It's not like you're going to Mexico or somewhere like that, or the DR or somewhere like that. You're going to a whole different continent. You got to fly past the international time zone. I mean, really, where it turns from, if you've never done it before, it's going to freak you out, where the plane is either, depending on which way you're going, it's dark on the plane, then next thing you know, it's light. And you'll be like, well, hell, I haven't been flying but 6 hours or whatever it is. And you can literally see it. You're coming a long, long way, so you want to have a smooth transition. Okay, and then these cities that I named, this Expat Alley, they're foreigner friendly, meaning most of what you're leaving behind, you can find in one of these cities. They got the big malls, they got the hospitals, they got the nightlife, they got the Wi-Fi. Okay, the infrastructure is, you know, decent enough to do whatever you're trying to do in these places. What's up, Dora May? And anybody can add to this list if I missed anywhere. But these are foreign friendly places. You're going to see enough foreigners that you won't get uncomfortable. Because people say, well, I don't want to see foreigners. Yeah, well, wait. You're going to retract that statement. Because there's some places here in the Philippines they're so remote that you be like, man, where am I? Where are the other foreigners? I need to talk to somebody. Am I safe? But yeah, they're foreigner friendly because a lot of people, you know, one of the things they really worry about, what's up, Don, is the healthcare. Well, the best healthcare in all the Philippines is in Expat Alley. It's in one of those cities. Once you get outside those cities, man, it's really, I mean, it's a crapshoot. And more likely, it's a regional place. They're going to transport you to one of these other places. Even including San Carlos City, we've got a San Carlos City Doctors Hospital. But if I really sustained a brain injury or something from a motorcycle accident or something, They don't really have a trauma unit there. They shipped me to Bacala. What's up, Matt Chappelle? Elliot, thank you. Yeah, Manila's a zoo, but it's still, once you get out of your country and you arrive in the Philippines, it still has a whole lot that's going to be familiar to you. The skyscrapers, the nice, go on Rojas Boulevard, where the Manila Bay is, and just walk, you just start walking down that street, past Starbucks and all that place. You got a Jose Rizal Park on the left, the Embassy, Dolomite Beach. You think you're in the West. That's what I'm saying. At least you're not going to be shocked like you would if you came to St. Carlos City or one of those places. And you'd be like, what have I done? I made the wrong decision. Because we don't have a major mall here. There's no nightlife here. But Manila has all that. There's no Starbucks here, but we've got coffee shops here. Well, you're going to get culture shock, but it lessens the culture shock. It's not like you're landing right into the province. I mean, he said, actually, my culture shock introduction was in Manila on my first day in the Philippines. I saw a large family living in a small, hot apartment. Well, hell, that was your culture shock, man. I saw a family living on the sidewalk, but I see that at home. But the toilets and all of that. He said, Michael Beach of Life says, I saw a guy with a hard hat on a motorbike dragging a telephone pole behind him. Yeah, see, that's culture shock. But if you can't go wrong with Expat Alley, man, and did it give you a chance to, to button your seatbelt and say, well, can I handle all this? Because, you can live a Western lifestyle in this Expat Alley. Because remember, guys, we're South coming from the West. You don't want to admit it, but you are. And you'll realize that when you get over here in different places. But I'm in the Philippines. I'm going to talk about that. And you see the things that you're going to have to do without, or you see how other people are living. And you'll say to yourself, man, I can't live like that. So that's why you want a soft landing when you come here. And these places are going to give you the soft landing, man. You're not going to see the crazy stuff that you see in the province and all that. Nobody's going to tell you, hey, go behind the bushes in there and go in the damn sugarcane field and drop your load. You're not going to get that in these Expat Alley, because that's what they do. We were coming from, Dave, Beach of Life, Dave, me and this here, he left with his girlfriend. And we went over to Mr. C and had something to eat. They've got good food. So we're walking back and we get in the tricycle and we come past a sugarcane field. And I said, yeah, that's a sugarcane field. Because he'd never seen it. He'd been in Cebu most of the time he's been here. And he said, yeah, and I said, well, but a whole lot goes on in that sugarcane field besides them growing sugar canes. And he didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, yeah, they go back there to, there's a lot of sugar babies born back there, and there's just an outhouse, just a whole bunch of stuff. People live back in there. They'll cordon it off with either wood or cardboard and sleep back there. Yeah, okay, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I forgot. Add Butuan City to that. Let me put it down here. Thank you, Doran May, for this. That's what I say. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a couple of places, but yeah, Butuan. Even I could say, because Butuan has a big mall. Now, does the Pollock have a big mall or not? I don't know, but A lot of foreigners live there, but I don't know if that would be the place you want to. That would be sort of like St. Carlos City. There's no big malls or anything like that. But Butuan City, certainly. Thank you for this because I've been there a couple of times. No, no, you're not late. He said, sorry, Cal, I'm late. I had to watch my boy Joel Embiid score 70 points today on the San Antonio Spurs. But this is why the NBA just isn't exciting anymore. It's just like a scoring. I mean, this guy got 70. I mean, which is amazing, but this is why the NFL is so much better than the NBA now. There's no defense playing. How many people are getting 50? And you look on the NBA website and be like, look, such and such is on the tear. Embrit, he's approaching the record. Of people scoring 30 or more. I mean, it's not exciting to me anymore. It's just like they run down and give it to him. He scores, or they run down and somebody shoots a 3-pointer. I don't watch the NBA anymore. But yeah, now 70 points is a lot. What's up, P Money? He said, TJ Johnson said, Butuan is not what I'd call foreigner friendly. Only passed through, but from what I saw and what Pumpkin Joe posts, it's a bit too rural. No, he's in the rural area. It has an SM mall. It has all of that. I've been there before. It's rural. It needs to be, it could be, you could live there. Coming right out of the West. Von Doramal, Doramo, he says, my wife is from Bacala. We'll probably make Bacala our home. What does Bacala offer expat? A lot. It's Expat Alley. I mean, it's just an urban city. It has everything that Cebu has, everything that Manila has. It's just not as big, but it has everything. Good Wi-Fi, of course. Like I said, the big malls. We seem to, that makes up for a whole lot of stuff that's maybe missing in a city when you get over here, those malls, because they'll include a lot of things that you need. A grocery store that has good food and, food that's familiar to you. But it has everything. It has the airport, which is maybe 15 minutes outside of Bacolod or something like that. But it's considered Bacolod's airport. The seaport, you're right across from Iloilo City. Okay, you're 25 minutes by flight to Cebu. I mean, Bacolod, a lot of people like Bacolod. Elliot McConnell says, Calvin, does the coffee shops provide free Wi-Fi? Some of them do. If you go to Tom's Coffee, Bo's Coffee, they usually do now. Starbucks, I'm not for sure. I can't remember. But I know Tom's Coffee in Dumaguete, Bo's Coffee, and the only one that offers free Wi-Fi here is Malwani, the restaurant. But I'm pretty sure if you go to these big cities, Elliot, they're going to offer it. Payday One says on Luzon they have car shows, really nice upscale pubs, many professional women. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is where you want to get your feet wet, man. Don't come to, I'm warning you. A lot of guys, I warned them, don't come to San Carlos City right away. I didn't come here right away. It was 10 years of coming back and forth. I never even heard of this place until I met Maryland. And then by that time, hell, look how old I was. I was older. My lifestyle had slowed down. And then they've got good Wi-Fi here. I don't know what's going on. We got overcast skies today. That may have something to do with it, but I've got PLDT 5G fiber optic. I mean, I wouldn't change it for anything. And hell, it's about $30 per month. Lonnie Franklin said, yeah, Cal, you're right. He says, I feel pretty comfortable when traveling around Manila and Cebu. Yeah, you are. You're going to feel like you're at home, really. It's not going to be brutal on you, man. Hey, this is Paul Stanley. Thanks for that super chat. He said, if you had the money to burn and you're a single man, which city would you buy a condo? I would probably buy in Cebu because, in my opinion, Cebu's a better tourist place than Manila. And, of course, when you talk about Manila, guys, I think y'all don't really understand how much of a zoo that is up there and how many people it is in Manila. But Kaz has to come on here if he will ever do it. He's real high on Manila. He likes it up there. He says the traffic and stuff doesn't bother him. And because of his job, he works remotely. He needs the good Wi-Fi and everything. But from what I see up there, man, I can't deal with that traffic. It's just too many people. When we were there, when we left, we were there in the last week of November, going into early December, when we were coming back from the meet and greet in Angeles City. And we went to the mall. It's just too many people, man. It's for me. But yeah, I would do it in Cebu, because then when it's time to turn around and sell it, you're probably gonna have a better chance. And then, Cebu, I'm biased because I got a couple of friends that live in Solanea condominium community right across from Ayala Mall, and that area is just real nice, man. I mean, it's really, really nice. Passport X said Joel Embiid, yeah, would have had a very short career if he played against the 90s Knicks and Pistons. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't like the NBA now. It's just a bunch. It's just, it's nothing exciting to me anymore. And you can tell it's not just me. NFL's far and above more popular. The ratings are just killing the NBA. And people watch the NBA during the playoffs. But look how excited these NFL playoffs are now. They got me want to watch them, but I'm not going to watch them. I'll watch the highlights. Anton says, I'm from Philly, and I found Manila horrible. Yeah, a lot of people don't like that, man. It's just too many people weighing on that infrastructure up there. It's far more people than should be there. The Army Corps of Engineers designed that place for about 800 to 850,000 people. There's anywhere, I'm talking about just in Manila, the city, not Metro Manila. You're talking anywhere from 12 to 15 million people. I wouldn't want to live there, but if you were coming from America and you landed in Manila, I mean, you could find what you're looking for pretty quick, whatever it is. That's the only point. I'm not saying you have to live there 100%, but at least learn the ropes in these expat cities. Because if not, man, you're not going to make it over here. You're going to get the wrong impression. If you fly into somewhere like Ormoc City, right? You're going to be like, where in the world am I? It's a nice place, but that's like a secondary place that you would go to after you've been to the Philippines many times and you say, oh, I know where I'm going now. I got my feet up underneath me. Okay, I know that I'm 3 hours from Cebu and I'm 2 hours from Tacloban City. I could even put Tacloban on there. But the only reason I don't put it on there is because of the weather. You really got to be careful. dealing with Tacloban City and anywhere near that Eastern Visayas region. You know, when they talk about the Philippines gets hit with 20 cyclones every year, well, you're going to get hit every year there. So I wouldn't want to tell anybody to go there. He says, Carl Buss says, hello, Cal, for 2024, a new sunshine shoulders. Are you smarter than a 60-year-old expat? What have they learned from an intelligent YouTube blogger like you? What do you mean? Well, a lot of things that I try to let people know about the Philippines, because you know it would take me 1,000 years, Carl, but some of the things I want people to know is it's not as dangerous over here as what the Western media wants you to think. Okay, it's quite safe, really. Yeah, there are some really, really dangerous places you don't want to go over here, but it's not as dangerous as they want you to think, or else people wouldn't be over here the way that they are. The people are genuinely welcoming. Okay, that's another thing. I mean, you know, I want to be welcome wherever I go. I don't want. I've had enough of being unwelcomed. Now I'm looking for a place where people don't mind me coming over here and stretching out, you know, letting my hair down and all that. The Philippines, the infrastructure is good enough where you can do anything that you're trying to do. I'm not trying to build an atomic bomb over here. Happy Man 6920, thanks for that super chat. He said, great thumbnail, this video, Shan. You have very strong genes because Booby looks just like you, except cuter. Thank you. Booby looks just like, I've got a daughter that's 28 years old, and she posted a picture of her when she was, I guess, Booby's age, maybe 4 or something. Looks exactly like Booby. And that's what Marilyn's the one saw the picture and said, look at this. This is Booby. But remember, that's a good thing, because you don't ever want to be guessing if you're the man. You know what they say? Mama's baby, daddy's maybe. Yeah, see, it's good that all my children look like me, man. I'm so thankful, because I don't want to be going through that. All that DNA and stuff. Yeah, he said, TJ says Americans watch the NBA only during the playoffs. Asians, the Gulf, the East, other sports cut into market share in the South, and Africans are all over the regular season. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they're really big NBA fans over here. I mean, they're fanatics, because you have to get up early in the morning or stay up late at night to catch the games. But I just don't find the NBA. I don't want to see anybody, unless somebody's just unconscious, you know, and just, you know, just going crazy and get 70. Not, you know, Joel Embiid, where he just throw it into him and he just drops the ball in the basket, because there's just no defense now. You can't touch the people. It's just not exciting to me. And watch when the guy gets stronger, that guy, the young guy from San Antonio. Now, how are you supposed to stop him once he gets stronger and he learns how they play in the NBA and what they'll let you get away with and what they won't? Who's going to stop him? He's 7'5", with what, 8 foot wingspan or some crazy stuff like that. He just holds the ball up like this and you can't get it. He just drop it in. Chase says, I enjoyed my time in BGC in Manila. Yes, it was many people there, but it felt more livelier there than Davao, where I based. On my third trip, I'll go to Angeles City, Metro Manila, and maybe Cebu. See, you make a great point. It just depends, but remember, we're not really talking about living there. We're just saying you're gonna have a soft landing. Anton, maybe he didn't go to BGC or Makati or some of those real nice areas in Manila. I very seldom go any of those places. Now, when I came back from Thailand in 2022, Mark, a friend of mine, he's a subscriber. He lives, I think, Makati. He lives right next to BGC. He took me to BGC just to show it to me and Maryland. That's the first time I ever saw it. I'll just stay in the Ermita area, down by the embassy, close to the Mall of Asia, along Rojas Boulevard. I like that area. I don't go anywhere else. But if I'm coming from America and I'm hearing all these horror stories about the Philippines, you would think we're living in the 18th century if you listen to some of these people. And then I've landed in Manila and went to Rojas Boulevard or BGC or Makati. I'll be like, wow, you guys have been lying to me all this time. But if you fly into some place like Ormoc City or one of those places, then you'll be like, it's not that it's dirty and it's, Ormoc City has the lowest crime in all the Philippines. I'm just saying, you'll be like, where in the world? Kobe Stewart said, good morning, Cal. Have you visited Sarsagan City in Bicol region? I passed through for a few days, very clean, new SM and nice walking along the seawall. I've never been there. See, this is what I want people to do, add to it. But is this a place where you would move directly to, Kobe, if you're fresh out of the West? You're a newbie. And you're a veteran, man. You know what to look for and everything. I'm talking about somebody brand new to the Philippines. Because Ormoc City would be like a pig with lipstick. You're dressing it up more than what it is. It's not Cebu, it's not Manila, it's not even nowhere near Dumaguete. People talk about Dumaguete until you actually go there. The vloggers are so few, man. People, the last legitimate count, they said it's 4,000 expats in Dumaguete. Well, a lot of them live in Valencia and I guess that would be west of Dumaguete, like Zamboanguita, Chaton, and outside of Dumaguete, 450,000 people come through Dumaguete on a daily basis. That would be a drop in the bucket. What would that be? 1%? You just start stumbling over expats there. I mean, it's big enough to give you what you're looking for, but it's small enough that it's not Manila, it's not Cebu. It's not gonna give you all them old headaches. Root History says 4K camera and Ray-Bans, but homeless in New York City. Yeah, he says, I haven't followed a single game since Shaq and Kobe. Yeah, the stars now, like I said, I don't really, that NBA, a lot of these guys, I'm getting old. I'm out of touch with the NBA. But I wouldn't pay the money to see them. I would pay to see LeBron in his early days, but you got to realize, man, LeBron is 40 years old. Like, come on, man. At some point, man, sit your ass down. Everybody knows you own something. I mean, but people won't admit it. The guys like Brady and all that, them guys is on performance enhancing drugs. I mean, you can be in denial all you want, man. You're not playing all them damn years. Hey, Hitman. He said, hello from Australia. Keep them vids coming, Cal. Thank you, brother. Seabree says, I have a girlfriend in Davao. She wants to put on a room onto her sister's house. How much do you think it would cost? Well, it's not going to cost that much. I would say, if you see my guest house, you ain't going to need any more than that. But I've got everything in there. I don't know if you want to a self-contained room, because I've got plumbing in there, of course, electricity you're going to need in yours, but I've got a CR in there. Are you going to have a bathroom? I would say about, for a good room, I'd say about $5,000 US. But I wouldn't give her the money. You better be here to manage that, or else it's going to cost you double that. And it probably still won't get done. There was a guy, him and his, no, they're not married, but they've been together. They live together. They've been together for 8 years. He came to visit me. He was on his way to Dumaguete, but they stopped here to see me, him and his girlfriend. And he was saying, man, I really like your house, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And he told me how much he had spent on his house. Double, right? He said, but Calvin's not finished. And, I was like, why? He said, because I wasn't here. He's sending the money to his girlfriend, and then, the workers, they're going to know. He didn't hire an engineer. So, they're going to slow down, guys, when they're almost finished. They're going to slow down. It's going to cost you more. They're going to do things that's going to cost you because they don't have anything to lose. See, when you hire an engineer, it's his responsibility to keep the cost low because that's his profit. But if you don't have an engineer, if you don't have anybody watching, I was here every single day to make sure they're going to do something. It's going to cost you a lot, man. But don't send that money over here to Seabreeze TV unless you're here to watch every hollow block being put in. Who's going to design it? Don't just hire guys in the neighborhood. Don't do it. Go on and spend the extra, $100 for just a room. Have somebody sketch that thing out, man. Get you an engineer. Because a friend of mine, he had bought a house here. He hired Rock Engineering to renovate his house. You can get an engineer to do that. I would. I would. It's not going to be any more. Okay? If I would have built this same house, okay, now y'all see how good of work that Merlin's brother does. He's probably the best at what he does. But it took him and his little crew, he had a 2-man crew, so it's 3 of them. 15 square meter guest house. It took them 3 months to build that. And they went over. Even though they had the drawings and everything, but they were always coming up short, guesstimating. Oh, we need 20 bags of cement. You sure it's the last 20 you need? Yeah, I said, this is it. Then next thing you know, Maryland, give me another 15 bags. I said, I thought they needed 20. And that went on until they got it finished. But had Rock Engineering built that, they'd have done that thing, man, in less than probably a couple of weeks. Because he's going to have a full crew. He's going to know what he's doing. And it's his business, okay, to keep the cost low. But yeah, man, it would cost a nice room, I would say 15 square meters, depending on how big you want it, 20 square meters. It's probably going to cost you about, I'd say $5,000 or $6,000. Robert Dame says the new airport that they're planning at Male Bale, is that how you pronounce it? Will put Bukidnon in Expat Alley. They have a plan to welcome foreigners. Yeah, that's going to be a gigantic airport. It is. They're going to have to build something around it. So he said they have a plan to welcome foreigners. Anton Williford, he says, when I first got to the Philippines, I landed in Manila, then where, Davao? Then I moved, then to Dow. Okay, what's that? Then I moved to a small village, and I had to go to Angeles City at least once or twice a week. Yeah. Now, how far was that? Because I know Angeles City, we caught the bus. It was an hour and a half to the airport in Manila. But yeah, guys, any building you're going to do over here, go on and get you an engineer. Because when you start telling her to get some of her friends and relatives, you might as well just plan on doubling the money and the headache. Because you're going to get the headache. Because remember, you got to feed people over here too. So every day we fed them, which I don't mind. That's part of the culture. That's part of the custom. If you hire a crew to build, you gotta buy them lunch, and and a snack. Supply the too big, which is the water over here. Paul Stanley, thanks for that super chat. He says, I never had season tickets, but I do like going to games 3 to 4 times a year. What city has games year round? You mean here? Well, probably Manila has got different. They've got the PBA here, which the PBA now, it's not the NBA. It's a lot more exciting because they're playing basketball. It's competitive. Nobody's going to get 70 in the PBA. It's not because they don't have good players. It's a thin line, guys, between the D League and the NBA. As far as when you go down to, like, I guess when you get down to like the top 7 people or something. Though the rest of those guys from 8 to 15, it's a thin line. TJ Johnson said that Willie Shoemaker, my brother in Christ, you spent $15,000 to build a room onto your family home in the Philippines. He said, did they make the floor out of 1,000 peso notes? Yeah, that's a lot, man. I mean, how big was that room? Y'all don't believe it, man. Here's Maryland right here. Well, I already saw, if you go on my video, the engineer wouldn't lie, guys. I only spent 20,000. It would be less than 20,000 for this whole house. I'm not going to spend 15,000 for a room. You could have built the whole house, because I met a guy in Bacolod. He did. I met him in immigration. They're married now. Him and his Filipino wife. The land was her mother or father's land, but he spent 12,000, and they built a 2-bedroom house. He said, there you go, have a nice day. He said, there are plenty of places to land in the Philippines. CDO, Davao, Iloilo, Batangas, Puerto Galera, Darwin, San Fernando, La Union, all have beautiful beaches and not a small island. Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody whose first trip it is to the Philippines for a slow vacation or to retire. We're not talking about a vacation. But I've got CDO on here. I've got Davao, I've got Iloilo. Darwin is Dumaguete. Okay? That's Dumaguete. Puerto Galera, man, a guy tried that. He did. He went into Manila, then he went into Puerto Galera to live, by the way. That's a tourist place. And he went broke. He had a stroke. He claimed he had a stroke. And he's back at home, probably. I haven't heard from him. Happy Man 6920 says, I don't understand some of the things that guys do for women. I ain't building shit for a woman unless I'm in that house too. Yeah, you'd be surprised, man, what pussy will make you do. What pussy will make a man do, especially who hasn't had it in a long time, and then it's coming from a young, attractive woman. We literally turn flips, jump through hoops, run around in circles. We do everything she should be doing. But that's nothing. If he spent 15,000, hell, that's nothing. He should consider himself lucky. But I guarantee you, I hope he was there because it probably didn't cost 15,000. If he was not there, if he's going to be honest, and if he wasn't there every step of the way, he paid double for that because they're going to do it, man. They're going to do it. I mean, really. Merlin's not going to lie to me. When we were helping, remember y'all when we were helping Donna over there? She said they're slowing down. They're getting close to getting finished. They're slowing down. They're going to slow down on you when you don't have anybody watching. Okay, he says Dow is right next to Angeles City, and I live 30 minutes from Angeles City. Okay. The Global Vagabond says, why are people worried about safety over there? Over here, a cop just wiped out his family. Current manhunt for someone that killed 8 people in their own house. More every day. Yeah, this is what shocks me. You know, because we've become numb to that violence over there. Remember, you're stewing in that toxic stuff over there, so you don't really pay it any attention. It happens so much. I'm glad you brought this up because I don't know why. I must have clicked on something before, but all of a sudden, all of these gang videos are coming across my feed. FBG Duck and all these, right? They're you know, it was a trial where 6 guys went on trial for his murder in Chicago, gang related. And I'm thinking, why haven't they gotten rid of that? I mean, it's ridiculous because they've been coming up and I've been looking at a lot of this stuff. Man, these guys are just down there killing for nothing. It's not like they're killing for millions of dollars or anything like that. It's like a badge of honor to die and then a consolation prize to fuck your life up. And because these guys they're facing life in prison and they killed this guy. And I'm like, well, why? Because he's an op, they called him. And it goes on over there. So every time they bring up Chicago, this is who they're talking about. It's not like every now and then an innocent bystander will get caught in that madness. But most of the time, it's just these young guys, man. Women in Chicago, they losing their whole families to this gang-related crap, man. I'm like, guys are fools, man. And you look at them, you're like, no wonder you're acting that way. You don't have an education. I can't hardly even, you might as well be talking to Tagalog. I can't understand you. Your reasoning, it doesn't, make any sense. These guys are young, man, 17, 20, 23. They haven't even lived, man. They're dying, I mean, like roaches. I mean, literally. I mean, and they shot this guy in broad daylight in my favorite part of Chicago, the Gold Coast, right in front of a damn Dolce & Gabbana store. For what? And then they go on Instagram and YouTube and all these other TikTok and brag about it. It just it's like they're you remember Hansel and Gretel and they're leaving bread. It's like they're leaving breadcrumbs along the way so the police can catch them. It's really bad, man. I'm telling you. David Masterson says that Paul Stanley, are you referring to basketball? My friend's son plays in Manila right now. They always one foreigner that plays on the team. The Philippines has like, I'm going to say 3 or 4 basketball leagues here. The PBA is like the NBA of the Philippines. That's where the top players are and they get the most money and everything. But then you've got this league that Manny Pacquiao, he owns the league, I think. It's like a step or 2 below that. Then you got the D League over here, the PBA D League. Root History said, my Philippine says the PBA play like WNBA. No. And plus you got to realize that most of these teams have 1 or 2 foreign players. So you know who's over here right now, don't you? Dwight Howard. Now, people talk about him, man. Dwight Howard was a beast in his day. You can't take nothing away from Dwight Howard. But he's over here now, playing for some national team representing the Philippines. But he's here now. But they've got a couple of guys over here that could play in the NBA, man. And remember, it's a thin line between the NBA and the D League when it comes to that eighth man on down to the 15th man. That's all politics right there. Chase says there are certain things men do for women that women would never in her life do for a man. That alone should tell you it's unnatural. Just think about it. Yeah, this is a discussion we could have every single day. I'm on a mission to stop men from overspending here. I didn't overspend over here for this situation I'm in now. I mean, now if I'd have spent double what I did, sometimes triple, then yeah, because but you can overspend to the point where the woman is so far above what she's used to that she's not, she can never appreciate it. I mean, it's just a waste of money. And as you get older, you're going to need that money. You're not working anymore. You're going to need that money because one of the problems with people in America, we're living so long now. We're outliving our money. So you want to come over here, you're going to outlive it over there. So then you want to come over here and outlive it. I mean, I've seen men do crazy stuff over here. I don't even want to talk about it because, it's so many that's done that every last one of them will think I'm talking about them, Chase. They're giving away money it's just, I don't know. I can't believe it that they would ever do something like that. Stephen and Ellie ventures a Calvin. You ever hear of the worker's wage was 50% of materials cost? That's the way we did it, no lunch included. Oh, okay, yeah, because they bought a house and had it renovated. It's beautiful now. But I never heard of that because remember, and I had an engineer build this, and then I had a brother do the guest house. But I'd say 6,000 altogether for the guest house. That included labor and materials, which that's in America you couldn't. I don't think you could. You could probably have your well, no, it's more than that. When I had my house, I was going to get my porch and my steps tore down and redone, with concrete and stuff, man. They were talking 10,000 back in 2009. Okay, Willie said this was a Western style, top of the line, everything. Aircon, big windows, towel, lights, toilet, rainfall shower, very comfortable. I don't want for nothing. Why don't you send us a picture of that? Let us see what that looks like. Because how big was the room, Willie? I mean, it'd have to be a damn big room for 15,000. But remember, yeah, what was the rest of the house like? TJ said, because why would you, unless they had a hell of a house, because that would really look crazy if you put all that on the back of a Kubo, which I'm pretty sure you're smart enough not to do that. But did you have the rest of the house redone too? Ron Lawson said, what would be the best airport to land in, and should I stay close to it? Well, they got in Cebu, in Moncton International, they renovated that whole airport. Okay. You could land there, and then I wouldn't stay in Lapu-Lapu. It's too congested. I would go right over to Cebu, or you can go to Clark. And they got a brand spanking new airport. Nobody's going to be there when you arrive. And just go to Angeles City. But Manila's a beehive, man. Manila's a beehive. Yeah, W secrets of success. He says, hell, I just spent 10,000 on 2 custom doors for my house. He said, tell him, Cal. Yeah, that's a lot. But yeah, that's how it is in America. He spent 10,000 for a door. Yeah, I wanted my porch. I said, well, hell, let me, because you know how they get them circled steps and they keep going down and down till you finally get to the sidewalk. I said, wow, it looks good. Let me get an estimate on that. And the guy came back and said, yeah, we'll tear it down and do that. 10,000. I was like, woo. I'm saying. I love the child said, Hitman, I spent 13,000 to replace my old tub with a modern shower. Money doesn't go far here. I guess he's talking about the United States. Yeah, it doesn't. He said a water heater is almost 10,000, including labor in America. Wow. I didn't know water heaters had gotten that high. What time is the travel? Said Cal, I had a room added to my home in California. I paid 20,000. Wow, back in 2017. That's not too bad though. Oh well, hell, 70 square meters for a room? That's a house you built. Yeah, that's bigger than my house. My house is 56 or 58 square meters. Yeah, that's a big ass room. That's not a room, man. That would be considered a house. Yeah, so yeah, I can see now why you spent 15,000. Now, were you there throughout the whole construction? Because listen, guys, I don't care how much you trust a woman. She's not used to that money. And it's not the women you got to worry about. The woman, it's the workers. Because they know she don't know anything about building. We need this, we need that. They're going to overcharge her. They're going to slow down. You're going to go over. Yeah, 70 square meters. Wow. Yeah, that's bigger than my house. So yeah, he got a good deal then. If he did all that, but I mean, 70 square meters, that's a lot, man, for 15,000. Yeah, he got a good deal. Okay, he said, yes, I was here. I have a background in construction. It's nice and done right. Yeah, see, that's why. You got a hell of a deal and you're smart because most people, they're not here, guys. Don't do that. I'm I'm curious, because Danny rode to the Philippines. Danny, he wasn't here for his construction. I'm interested to see how much he went over, if he would tell us something like that. Because he was never here for the house or the guest house. He built the guest house too. Because they're going to play their games if you're not here, even if you're here. But I took all that off my shoulders. I said, no, I'm going to hire an engineer. Okay, now, what do you think this house really costs is what I'm trying to tell you. It didn't cost $1 million for him to build this, guys. See, this is where you got to start thinking for yourself. That's what made me go ahead and build the guest house. Because I said, I knew he made a profit, some kind of profit on this house. Surely he just didn't build it for nothing. Xavier Allen says, if I want medical advice, I'm calling my doctor. If I want legal advice, I'm calling my attorney. If I want advice regarding the Philippines, I'm calling Sunshine Shoulders. Keep educating us, Cal. Thank you, man. That's all I'm doing is giving you my boots on the ground experience. What I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. And when it comes to building, man, I've done it. I'm just telling you, because guys are going to come over here, they're going to build. Are they going to want to add on and all that? You better be here. He said that was without a bathroom. With a bathroom, 35,000. It was cheap because my brother did it. He didn't charge me much. Oh, okay. He said, where is Danny? Danny's in right outside Kansas City. I know he's happy. But boy, I just hope and pray that Lamar Jackson has a good game and they win. You know, I'm just tired of the same people winning all the time. That's all. Imagine he's been to the AFC Championship game 6 years in a row. That's phenomenal, man. You know, that's a dynasty. Okay, he says, I trust in God, the good faith of the USA dollar, and me. Well, yeah, I'd have to, you know, let's leave. I'm going to leave that alone. Yeah, you have to be here. You have to be here, guys. TJ Johnson said, bro, my boy just spent 1.3 million on a house in East Oakland, barely above the flatlands, not a mansion or even a McMansion, just a house in a non-gated community. Crazy thing is, he's got 3 times my stamps. Yeah. Well, you know, if you're out in California, man, you know, that's a real estate. Okay, he says, he called Butts Cal. The Attorney General of California has made a move to shut down and put in prison the organized shoplifting gangs, and his planned tactics will make businesses safe again. Yeah, I'm glad, but I'm talking about these street guys, man, that just, I guess they're not doing anything because they're killing each other. If they really start killing civilians and innocent people, man, they would shut that down. But they're not doing it, man. It's going on for years and years and years. And it's just a senseless death, man. I mean, you know, and they really made these guys like celebrities. If you see the views on these videos, man, we're infatuated with death and crime and everything over there. I mean, these guys, these videos are just getting millions and millions of views, and they're just showing like old footage of these guys in their neighborhood before they were killed and different stuff like that. And I'm like, man, why are we so in love with this stuff? I don't know what I must have done to punch on something, you know, because that's how YouTube works. If you punch on my video, the next thing you know, you're going to get a lot of vloggers from over here on your feed. I think I did the trial of that FBG duck because I'd never heard of him. I'm like, well, what's the interest in this? And, you know, he was a rapper, you know, a gangster turned rapper. You know, but these aren't real gangsters. They're in gangs. You know, real gangsters, you know, they get away with their crimes and, you know, they got millions of dollars, a lot of them. Somebody has to be profiting off of this stuff because it's just a lot of death, man, and destruction and people messing their lives up. I mean, what do you get out of sitting in prison for the rest of your life? Oh, yeah, but I killed 2 of my ops, and everybody forgets about you. I've never heard of anything as stupid as that. Mike Dorsonville says, hey, Cal, since you left, things got extremely expensive here in the U.S. Well, hell, it was extremely expensive when I was there. I know what you're saying. Frank says, I'm not building nothing in the fields. And a lot of people don't. But you're going to buy it. You might as well build it. If you're going to buy it. See, that's the thing. That's that catch-22 in the Philippines. You say, well, I'm not building nothing. But you're going to end up buying it. Okay? And some of these guys that's already been over here since the Philippines opened, they haven't left. They're paying rent. And how much money they spent enough to buy a house. So it depends on you. I mean, you know, see, this is what we're thinking. We're better or we're smarter than everybody else. I'm not going to build anything over there. I'm going to rent. Yeah. And after you're here for 2 or 3 years, You done already spent money to build a house. Then that way, if you leave, okay, you leave, but you come back, you got the house here. Or you could sell it or whatever, right? Yeah, Robert Sanford said Mahomes not this year, Lamar got. I hope so, man. I mean, they hate on him so bad, man. It's like, what else do you got to do? He said the New World Order. When people used to say that stuff, the New World Order, I didn't believe it at first. He says my demographic is lost, generally speaking. Well, there's still some nice. I'm just talking about this particular demographic right there in Chicago. And I'm pretty sure it's other places. But these guys are literally killing each other. And the crazy thing about it, when they show the territory on the map, they live right next to each other. It's like, how could you ever escape that? You're just living in a battlefield, really. You're eventually going to die. I mean, you got, a few blocks here, then right connected to it is their enemy. Then connected here is their enemy. And they're really killing people, man, like it's nothing. Willie Shoemaker said the extra was a king bed. Yeah, that's extra. Medium-sized ref, office desk and chair, microwave, generator, building storage, bedding, curtains. Yeah. He said thousands per month dying from fentanyl over here. Yeah. I had a brother die and a nephew. When my brother died in 2013, it was really like just starting as far as I'm concerned. I'd never heard of so many people dying of fentanyl. But when he died and the way he died, that's what happened. You go to sleep and you stop breathing. And then you go into cardiac arrest and you start throwing up and you choke off your own vomit. That's what happened to him. There's more fentanyl in the damn heroin than heroin. Yeah, Chris Rideout said, yeah, they're going to ride that clock for an extra month or two if the expat is not there checking on the construction. It is. They're going to do it. Merlin told me that. They're going to slow down. And it's true, man. Kamal says, agreed. I always figured Americans love power are so to see. No wonder these crime movies from Godfather to Goodfellas excelled. TJ Johnson says 6 figures, good credit history, perfect rental history. None of that shit matters when there's an FB, Apple, Oracle employee with a 1 million cash offer lurking around every corner. Yeah, we put a lot of emphasis on that credit too, man. I think that credit's a scam. That credit score, that's really the main reason I'm going home. It's not that divorce, man, because it eats at me knowing that somebody took my identification and bought an iPhone and a contract with AT&T, ran up $2,500. Now it's just sitting on my credit report, draining it. I had the highest credit rating I'd ever had while I was over here because I only had that one credit card I was using, man. Skyrocketed up there. And I said, well, hell, if I ever have to go back to the United States, I'm going to be in good shape because you don't need it over here. And I'll be damned, man. I just want to know. I wanted to get it. I want to get it off my record, because pretty soon that damn collection agency, see, I stopped them. I didn't even know, because my Capital One they've got credit wise, right? You can check your credit and all that. And it's sitting on there. They said I had a new collection. And I'm like, collection? And there it is. So I called them up and said, hey, what's going on? They said, yeah, this is from your AT&T mobility account. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. And they tell me when I took it out, it was taken out in January or March of 2023. Frank Ellis says it would be different if I owned the land. Well, you're not going to own the land over there. Don't pay the taxes, Frank, on the land. And when you die, you can't take it with you. I guarantee you come over here and you lease that for 50 years, it's going to be the same as owning it. I mean, but yeah, you never really own the land. But it doesn't matter if you own it or not. If you're renting and you're renting a decent Western style condo, apartment, or house in one of this Expat Alley cities, you're going to buy you a house in 2 or 3 years. So it doesn't matter what we're thinking or what it is you're trying to do. The facts is the facts. You're going to spend it. He said, whatever happened to you? I don't give a damn button. I still got it. But hell, I had to replace it with the wake up button for a lot of men over here. You know, here this guy is, meets a woman online in April, gets married to her in October, and they kill him in December. That's a sad case, man. You know what it takes. You know what kind of monster, type of psychopath that it takes to suffocate somebody to death. It's not like them gangbangers over in Chicago driving by shooting. Man, that's up close and personal. You'll put the damn plastic over the man's face and, and just suffocate him to death. That's a whole different ball game, man. You're a whole different animal to do that. And then here's a man who didn't mean you any harm, really. He loved you. He gave you 100,000 pesos, which is a fortune over here, for somebody in her situation. And that's how you paid him back. That's the quickest turnaround I've ever seen. That's what makes me mad. I mean, it's one thing to kill the man, but damn, you damn near killed him the minute he got off the damn plane. That's what pisses me off. Yeah, he said, there you go, have a nice day. He said, you can file with the 3 credit bureaus to get that wiped off your credit score. It's easy. I did it all online 5 years ago. Yeah, but see, AT&T, I'm contesting it with them. They giving me the requirements. It's more than that credit bureau. I've got to do a police report and everything. It's a bunch of forms I got to fill out. I wish it was that easy. Yeah, he was 72. She was 30, but hell, that's nothing. That's the going rate over here. 70 and 30, 75 and 40, 85 and 40. I mean, that's nothing out of the ordinary, but everybody thinks it's not going to happen to them. This woman I'm dealing with, because I see everybody else, they didn't vet their woman and it worked out. You don't want to be the exception to that rule. The rule is the women aren't going to do anything to you. You're going to be the worst enemy. He was the exception. I mean, I feel sorry for the man. I didn't even know the woman. I'm mad at her. Like, wow, lady, you ain't have no good intentions for this man. And whatever he promised you to do, you didn't give him a chance to do it. I mean, that's terrible, man. Same with the Australian guy. I'm not letting foreigners off the hook. He's going to claim self-defense. He's going to claim that the young woman, she was 17 to begin with. You should have threw her back anyway, but you ornery. So you come over here. He claimed that when she was giving him head, she bit his penis and he blanked out and beat her like that. to the point where her face was unrecognizable, knocked all her teeth out, gave her brain hemorrhage, which resulted in her death, right? And then when they caught the cocksucker, his knuckles were swollen. Wait, done beat this young girl. You imagine what a 17-year-old looks like over here, how little she is. You know, and that's what I was telling y'all the other day when we were talking about who's got the better dating pool, the foreigner or the Filipino. See, it's toxic, man, on our side. I wouldn't want to be a woman dating out of that pool. I don't care what you can do for me. There's no telling what they're going to meet. Is he an Indian? Is he going to beat me to death like that? Is he going to, honey, cut that off because you're going to mess my feet up. I don't care, yeah, what you're going to do if you're going to beat me to death. I mean, he beat this woman. Imagine a mortician couldn't even put the woman's face back together. I mean, she's 17, you know, probably had 22 on the dating site because you can't put. Mike Dorsonville says our home in Duval City, the house and lot cost us a little over $4 million. But that's not bad though when you talk about a house, man, and you owning the land. What's that right now? About $70,000, $72,000. Yeah, W Secrets to Success blog. He said bad credit will eliminate you from mid-executive level jobs in America and any financial sector careers. It will. Man, they put a whole lot of emphasis on that credit check. It's almost like a damn background check. It's almost like a criminal background check. It could cause you just as much trouble. Nathaniel Drug Free says, Cal, when it comes to building a house there as a single foreigner, I know that you can't own property there, but are you allowed to sell a house on property you can't own? Well, you would have to sell the lease too. If you lease the land. But you know, this is something that you would talk to a lawyer about. But remember, if you buy a tiny home, I don't know why you would want to come over here and build a big, gigantic home anyway. Why don't you just, like that guy built a 70 square meter room for $15,000. He's telling you what I'm trying to tell you. With these small homes, you don't have to break the bank. Okay, so what, you lease the land? You don't have to sell it. Then rent it out. You can rent it to them people. Okay. Let it earn you some money. But I'm saying he built a 70 square meter room, which is just a big, gigantic house, really. A big, gigantic studio house for $15,000 and didn't spare any expense. So why are people coming over here spending, you know, 100,000, 150, 200,000? They've got a house down in Dumagetti. Greg and Wilma, they've got a beautiful home. I want to say the last interview I saw, he's talking about they had spent 250,000. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money over here, man. He said a Connex house at City Hardware is 170,000 pesos. I don't want to intrude on the people behind me, but him and I guess his brother, best friend, they built them a small little house using that. What's the name of that material, honey? That this wall is made out of? The Hardiflex or something? Is that what it's called? Yeah. And it's nice, man. I would have loved to show y'all that. I know he didn't spend any more than 200,000 pesos for their house. But it's nice. Happy Man 6920 said, this is a shame. Excuse me. We're getting mad knowledge capable of helping us change our lives. 251 viewers, but the likes went up. Let's get the likes up to 200 to 250, man. Thank you. But I'm not shaking my booty. I don't have a bikini on. They're the ones that get all the likes and all the support and everything like that. But they come to me for the knowledge. I see what's going on because let me stop, man. I'm gonna have a positive energy today, guys. I'm gonna leave these bloggers alone. Let them do their thing. Stephen Phillips said, yep, they use a credit score as a new red line type exclusion for certain racial groups. I know they do. I mean, it's just so many ways that they can use that credit score on you, man. It's like, seems like the only thing you can really get is an old 30-year mortgage and a used car, an old car. They ain't gonna let you do nothing else with that credit score. And both of them are crazy. Hey, Darling May says, that's why your channel grabs a hold of me, Brother Cal. You just know and feel your heart and soul is into guys like me traveling overseas. Your knowledge is needed. Yeah, thank you, man. I'm glad somebody can appreciate it because that's all I'm trying to do. I got on a plane. If anybody doesn't know, in 2009, never knew anything about the Philippines, only what I heard in the Navy. Okay, because I never came here. We didn't do a Westpac. We did a mid cruise. I was in a chat room 2 days before coming here. And the guy said, get on the dating site, man. You better get on the dating site and meet a woman before you go over there. At least have somebody to show you around. That's all I did. Okay, there's only 2 things I did right. I met 2 women and I flew into Cebu. That was it. Everything else, I was making it up as I went. I'm going to tell you how little I knew about the Philippines when I came here. I only was here for a week. My plans were for a week. I went through a travel agent and he set me up with Korean Air and the Crown Regency Hotel. $2,500 for just 1 week in the Philippines. I had such a good time. I extended for a week, and it just so happened that my plane ticket, that extra week, Korean Air didn't charge me anything for the difference in my ticket or to do it. But try that now. But I'm so happy when they gave me that extra week because hell, I was still half drunk from sleep. But I knew nothing about the Philippines. Everything I learned, man, it's just hindsight, and I'm just talking to you guys about it. I mean, it's going to help a little bit, but for the most part, people don't listen. Men don't listen to other men. They just don't. Rodney says, hey, Cal, you can't rent an apartment without them running your credit and running a background check. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. And that's just another way. See, one thing I didn't notice, it took me a while because I'm slow in certain things. I give people too much credit. Even if you got the money over in America, they're going to vet you before you move into certain neighborhoods. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how much credit you got. They're going to vet you. And if they don't want you in those nice communities, you're not getting in there. They'll come up with a reason. It took me a long time to figure that one out. But that's why I like it over here. They don't do that. If you got the money, that's all you need here. So let's go back a little bit, back on topic, because this is very, very important. And guys, I didn't know. I just knew I didn't want to fly into Manila. And I saw this Cebu online. I was like, wow, what's Cebu? And I started clicking through it. And I saw the first picture I saw of Cebu was the waterfront hotel. And I was like, well, damn, it looks like something in America. I'm flying into Cebu then. I knew nothing about Angeles City, Dumaguete. I knew none of this. Bacala, Iloilo, nothing. But now that I do, it's very important because now, people really know what they're flying into. There's nobody online that I've seen that's giving just blatantly false information. I don't know why other vloggers say that. I guess they say that to try to build their credibility, but I don't see anybody giving blatantly false information. I don't see it. But I call it Expat Alley because this is where most of the expats are. This is where they settle. This is where you can build a Western lifestyle for yourself, where you can come here, you get a soft landing. There's no great culture shock. The Western lifestyle you're trying to that you're seeking, you can have it. So I've got Subic Bay, Angeles City. This guy said put Butuan City on there. That's in northern Mindanao. It's a 35-minute flight from Cebu. I've done it so many times. Metro Manila, anywhere in Metro Manila, Cebu City, Cagayan de Oro, that's another northern Mindanao, Dumaguete, Bacolod City, Iloilo City, Davao, General Santos, which a lot of people don't visit. It's really, really a nice city. And I even put Zamboanga on there because Zamboanga has everything that you're going to need coming from the West. You can land in Zamboanga and, and take off from there. Even though Zamboanga has a bad reputation, it's not like you're flying into Holo Sulu or Tawi Tawi or Marawi or something like that. Don't let anybody convince you of that. I lived there on and off for 10 years. Not a scratch on me. Okay, because at the end of the day, these scary Muslims that y'all talking about, they're Filipinos at the end of the day. And I'm more worried about Christians than I am any Muslims. But the reason I say, because you're going to get a smooth transition. You're not just moving, you're moving in a whole different culture, in a whole different country, on a whole different continent. You want a smooth transition as possible. It's going to give you some time. It's going to buy you some time to figure out, do I want to stay here or not? Because, you can go to Pizza Hut. You can go to the mall and get you a nice pair of Nikes. TGI Friday, get you a drink. They got nightclubs. They got everything you got over there. The Wi-Fi works good. Women everywhere, or men everywhere, whatever it is, your choice. Foreigners everywhere for you to strike up a conversation. These places are foreigner friendly. The hospitals are there because that's what you're worried about. The airports are there. It's foreign friendly, guys. So yeah, he says, Happy Man says, I appreciate you and all of you from TJ, LaChan, Frank Ellis, Jacob, Tanjay, Robert, Dame, etc. You all have something that will help us have an easier acclimation there upon our arrival. And that's what I'm trying to do. Create this community, because the guys in the comments, believe it or not, they just don't have YouTube channels. They know as much, if not more than me. They've been over here longer. They got more experience. They just don't have a YouTube channel. So I'm trying to bring it all together. He says, hey, Cal, check on the Conex containers to build homes. Upside is heavy and strong enough to handle a typhoon. I'm going to have to look more into that. I just don't see them here. I'm sure I can go on YouTube and you may find 4 or 5 people with them. But I was looking at, let me see, where was it? What was this place? They got these little homes for the homeless people to keep them off the street. They don't have a bathroom. They got a separate bathroom for them, but what do they call them? I forget what they call these little bitty homes, man. I mean, they're really, really small. It's just enough room for them to lay down and maybe put their clothes in there. But it's a bunch of them on this lot to get people off the street. Kamal says even Jason Williams couldn't get an apartment after prison. Yeah, that was a sad story. You know, I think if he'd have just went on and came clean, he'd have came out bad on that. I mean, you know, playing with guns and, you know, he shot that man in the chest. It cost him millions. He paid that family millions. Man cost it, you know, cost the man his life. He says along with Post City. I had that on here, but I really didn't put it because it's part of Subic Bay. You know, so I'm talking about Subic Bay all up in that area. He said, don't be sleeping on General Santos, but a lot of people do. I've been there. I'm almost sure I've been there 3 times. And every time I went there, it was worth it. I don't know what's going on with this Wi-Fi today. I'm not going offline. I see though, I've still got I've got 5 bars. Geechee Dan says in New Orleans, you have to get approved by the Bucari Commission to open a business in the French Quarter, no matter how much money you have. Yeah, they're going to vet you. And it's the same thing with some of these neighborhoods, man. You know, they still trying that stuff. There's a book out called The New Jim Crow. And, you know, it's a powerful book. I had it before my divorce. And because my wife threw out all my books. And, you know, there's, you know, it's not, if you know what Jim Crow was back in the day, all they've done is modernized it and they gave it a different name. She's talking about mass incarceration. And, you know, once you get a felony on your record and everything, you know, you're not eligible for anything. Public housing, public assistance, nothing. I mean, it's a good book. Doyle and May says you got to know what you're looking for and want first. Sunshine Shoulders channel can help you navigate your way, gain knowledge towards your peace and happiness. I'm still learning. I'm still learning, believe it or not. But I was telling Dave the other day, I said, I'm glad you came to visit me. Now you've got one more place that you know about, that you've been to, and how to reach it. Because he rode the bus, he went to the South Bus Terminal, rode the bus to Toledo City, caught the ferry to San Carlos City. Now he's going back because he never left. He's been here. This is his 4th time. No, 3rd. But he's never left Cebu. And he went to his girlfriend's. She lives in Cebu, maybe 3 hours away. She lives on Cebu Island, but he went there. And that's how you do it. You just try to expand your range a little bit at a time each time you come. You don't try to come here and take a big bite out of the Philippines, man. You come to one of these expat alleys, and around the expat alley, like say, let's take Cebu. Man, you're so close to so many beaches and different things like that that you can go off course and quickly come back on course and still be back in Cebu City. Believe it or not, Bohol, where Michael Beach of Life lives, it's closer to Cebu than Bantayan Island or Camotes Island or Malapascua or Marlborough and all those other nice places. But yeah, just try to expand your horizon just a little bit each time you come. And before you know it, you're going to have some options. You're going to be like, oh man, okay, I can live here on Sikiho Island. If I get sick, I just catch the ferry to Dumageddon. It's only 30 minutes away. Excuse me. I'm just going to take better care of myself, which is what we don't do. This is what we all leave out of the equation. There's only a small percentage of men who come over and work out. And we're older, guys. We're 60 and older. But only a small percentage that you see, they're the exception. The rule is we just come over here as we are and let the chips fall where they may. We're taking a hell of a risk. And we don't even take a walk, most of us. I mean, I don't know if you can do anything. I don't know if you can do anything as ignorant as that, to just neglect your health like we do over here. It's going to catch up to you, man. Look at John. On the outside, John looked normal, man. And it hurts me, man. I've never, because people are like, well, when are you going to make a video about John or this and that, man? It still hurts me, man, what happened to John. Me and Johnny got really, really tight. He had become certainly the best expat friend I've ever had here. And for him to just drop dead like he did, man, it messed me up. Even now, next month will be 2 months where John will be dead. No, John's been dead 2 months. Actually, what's today? The 23rd. I think he died on I want to say the 22nd of January. Yeah, he did. It was January 22nd. No wonder why John's been on my man here lately. Exactly 2 years ago, John died. You know, but John walked a lot, but that was all he did. He ate whatever he wanted, drank, smoked. You know, you can't neglect your health, guys, and that's just what we do. So I don't care where you live, how you live, how much money you get every month, the things that we always worry about, the most important thing we leave out, your health. What's up, Mopar? Thanks for that super chat. He says, what are your thoughts on Naga City in Biko region? Is it safe area for a brother to stay in? I plan to visit there this year. I'll station there, then go back and forth to the province an hour away. Yeah, that's like Naga City. Now, one of my trolls used to live there. He died. As a matter of fact, it was a heart attack. I could actually add that, but that's more like a second class, like something like San Carlos City, Ormoc. Yeah, you could deal with that, but what you want to worry about up there, Mopar, is the weather. That's what you want to be concerned with there. Okay. Have you lived in, so you've never been there before. Why would you want to go straight there? Why would you want to pass up, since you're already in Luzon, why you want to pass up Angeles City, Subic Bay, other places around Metro Manila and go straight to Naga City, the Bicol region? What would make you do that? That's what I would ask myself. That's going to be your introduction to the Philippines? I don't know, man. You may be making a mistake. You know, evidently you've been here before, right? Because I don't know why you would want to go directly to there. I would get my feet wet for a little while, get accustomed to the Philippines and everything like that. Find out if Naga City, because there's another vlogger here that lives there. I want to think, is old Cano, is that where he lives, in Naga City, in the Bicol region? But if that's my first trip to the Philippines, I wouldn't go directly there. And I certainly would Yeah, he says, I'm meeting a lady there. Yeah, see, let her meet you there. Let her meet you in Manila. Let her stay with you. Okay. Don't go to her because you don't know what's waiting for you in Naga City. I'm just saying, I was telling a guy that who came and visited me the other day, Jay, his girl, the girl he was thinking about, I'm trying to think where, Sapalai. And I'm like, man, take a chance and send her a few thousand pesos and tell her to get on that damn bus and meet you in Dumaguete. Don't be going off in Sapalai and all those places. You don't know what's back in there. You're taking too much of a chance when you do that. I mean, just like people are always saying, oh, well, she's going to bring a chaperone with her because she can't trust you. Well, how can I know I can trust her? And I don't have a damn chaperone. I don't have anybody with me. We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt like they're so good. Yeah, have her meet you somewhere, man. And then go back to Naga City with her, but I wouldn't stay there if it's your first time being in the Philippines, because you're going to end up being in a place like San Carlos City, where if I first came to the Philippines in 2009, I met Marilyn and we came here, we would not be living here. Okay, not as a 45-year-old man at that time, I'm still hot my nuts is still hot. I'm still got, my hair is still on fire. I wouldn't be living here. We'd probably be in Dumaguete. She would have had to move with me. But yeah, Mopar, think about that. I mean, how old are you? You may be old enough, but come here first, man. Trust me, guys. I'm not going to give you a suggestion that's way out there. Come somewhere in this Expat Alley, man, for your first time, and you talking about staying for a long time, because you don't know what the Wi-Fi is like there. What's about the healthcare? It's going to be so much stuff you probably can't get in Naga City that you can get in Manila, Cebu, or Angeles City, and you're just getting over here. It's going to discourage you. You're going to be like, man, did I make the right decision? Have a good time first. Nathaniel Drug Free says, I'm going to work out now, stay in shape. Sunshine Shoulders family. I've lost family members to diabetes. I'm the only one of my siblings who haven't caught diabetes, possibly due to my physical fitness. You see a few guys over here working out, but it's a few. We're the exception. It's not the rule. The rule is don't work out. Just come over here and roll the dice. Robert Dame says, my blood sugar was great today. No insulin, no medication. Well, that's good. But yeah, guys, let's start taking better care of ourselves. Your diet. I mean, you can do wheelchair aerobics. Do something, man, okay? Don't take that for granted. I know now it's real cold in some parts of the United States. Start eating when you're hungry. It's hard to do here because they're going to be on you. See, they'll go ahead, like they're cooking lunch right now. I'm not even hungry. It's going to get done, and they're going to come knock on his door. It's time to eat lunch. I'm not hungry. So now they got to reheat man later. Or, you try to appease her. Next thing you know, your stomach's fat because you're eating too much food. TJ Johnson says, man, same as anywhere else, dealing with an asshole, sticker shock from wanting something Western. Language barriers, either real or manufactured, other expats. What are you talking about in Thailand, man, or what? He said, language barriers, either real or manufactured, man. That's funny, but that's true. That's really true. I don't know if you're talking about Thailand, but it's certainly true here. That's why it's good to have that liaison because you'll find a lot of people that act like they can't understand English, and they can. Yeah, they feed you to death. And see, that was okay. In 2010, I was in Cagayan de Oro. This is when I realized, I was like, wow, all Filipinos aren't poor, because I hadn't really met a Filipino family that had money up until then. Remember, I just came and started coming in 2009. Now I've met, Filipinos with foreigners and seen their houses and stuff like that, but I never met a Filipino family. I met a young woman, and she met me in Manila now, okay? I didn't go to Cagayan de Oro because I'm like, I don't know the damn Cagayan de Oro. You meet me here, then we go to Cagayan de Oro. And went to her house. Her grandmother lived in America and sent back and built up a big house. Well, it was somebody's birthday. And man, you talking about all the food they had. Um, they just had a modern lifestyle. Like it was like being at home. They had a car, they had a van. Okay, Mike Dorcheville says, I've been to Naga City. It's really nice there. They speak another. See, there's so many nice places in the Philippines, but I don't think it's the right move for a new person who's gonna be here for a while to come and move right into Naga City. I'm not saying it's not. It's nice here. It don't get no cleaner and safer than St. Carlos City. But if I'm new, I'm not coming here. Okay, Mopar, thanks for that super chat. He said, thanks for the advice. I'll meet her in Manila and then go to Naga City to meet the parents. I'm only staying 3 weeks. Oh, okay, to check her and the family out. Oh, you'll be fine then. I thought you were staying, staying. No, something like that. Yeah, you're going to be fine. But I would still have her meet me in Manila, and then we go to Naga City together. He says, it's been 8 months of talking, so I need to see what I got. I'm in my mid 50s. Yeah. And one good way to vet a woman is, will she travel? If she balks on that and say, oh, you're already in Manila, come on the rest of the way, then that's a red flag. No, look, I've come 8,000 miles, lady. The least you can do is meet me in Manila, and then let's go back. I feel comfortable if we go back to your place together. I'm not coming there by myself. I'm liable to get lost. Hey, thank you, David Masterson, for the super chat. He said, Cal, that gentleman that built that 70 square meter bedroom gave me a good idea. That's something I would consider. I'm trying hard not to be in your Hall of Fame. But see, that's what I'm saying. It was a great idea. It was just the same thing. Y'all think I'll be on here yapping. I'm telling you, I'm going to build, me and Merlin, we're going to build these small houses and offer them to people where you don't want to break the bank. This guy built a 70 square meter room. It's bigger than my house for $15,000. Okay, so what? It don't work. Okay, he's out of $15,000. Some of these guys, man, in a year and a half, they're out of $15,000 already with their rent. Okay, but I would think about that really, really hard. Okay, because you always say, oh, I'm not going to be over here long. I want to outplan. And you end up being over here. Like, I've been over here over 5 years. Now, imagine if we would still been paying rent for all those 5 years. Just say an average in St. Carlos City, just say $200 per month. Okay. Now, add that up. You've almost built the house. You're going to build it anyway. You're going to spend the money anyway. Yeah, 15,000 US dollars, Joe. 70 square meters. And that's about right. You can do that over here. I met a guy at the immigration in Bacala. He was an older guy. He had a younger wife. You know, the land belonged to her family, but they built a 2-bedroom house on there for $12,000. Okay, this is before I built my house. He put that in my head. I'm like, well, hell, 12,000. You can do it over here because look, man. Okay, if you want to learn from the locals here, that's one thing you want to learn. You're like, well, how much did you build your house for? Because Marilyn, one of her closest friends, lives around the corner. Now, her house isn't finished all the way, but I think she built that house for like 400,000 pesos. What's that, $7,000 or something? And it's livable, I'm saying. They're living in it. I don't think it's finished on the outside, painted and stuff like that. But the roof, the kitchen, the bathroom, the 2 bedrooms, the living room, all of that, the porch, for 400,000. Guys, you're going to spend that in rent, I promise you. You're going to be here longer than you think you are. And even if you aren't, you could go back and forth. You can rent the damn place. If you're going to do anything in the Philippines and you think about earning any kind of money, I've learned, okay, it's real estate. You're not going to lose with that. And especially if you're in one of these Expat Alley places where foreigners are going to come and they're looking for Airbnb, they're looking to rent apartments and houses. There it is for you right there. That's another reason to move to the Expat Alley. Because St. Carlos City does not have one Airbnb here. We're getting ready to put the guest house on Airbnb. Because if you get an Airbnb here, you end up in Sapaway Island. You know why? Because they don't think that this place is a tourist, destination. That's what the lady told me. And she said, that's why I closed mine. And she had a nice one. It's where me and Marilyn stayed. It was called Joy's Place. She had like 3 studio apartments connected to each other with everything in it. You had a little porch, you had, cable, you had cable and Wi-Fi. It had hot water, air con, but she said, I don't get enough business. So they don't have any here. But if I'm in Cebu, I'm got me an Airbnb. If I'm in Dumaguete, yeah. If I'm in Siquijor and places like that, yeah. Mike Chappelle says vegetables are way up in price. Heck, some vegetables are unavailable. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But here, remember, if you go to the marketplace, Matt, you can just buy what you need. Okay? And that's the good thing about going to the market. It's not like going to the grocery store where it's all packaged up. You got to buy the whole pack of beans. Beans is something that's good over here. And it's good for you. But we won't even try to break these old destructive habits that we've developed over our lives, man. A pig feet sandwich, man, is not good for you. Okay? Macaroni and cheese every damn meal is not good. A Newport King 100s, smoking all that stuff, man. Sometimes you got to say, hey, man, it's about the quality of life. My buddy been dead 2 years, man. John. Today, it's 2 years. He called me the night he died. He was scared to death. He said, Cal, he told me he loved me, man. I knew something was. John did not talk like that. I don't know if it was the medication. I don't know what it was. But he called me and I picked up the phone. He said, yeah, I just want to tell you I love you. He said, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm scared. He gave me the information to his brothers, how to get in contact with him. He said, look, this is what I want you to do in case. And I'm like, man, don't even talk like that. He said, no, man, I want you to do this. just in case I don't make it. He must have known because that next morning I didn't get any messages from John. And then about 2 o'clock, his girlfriend called Merlin crying. He had passed away during the operation. Delta Dog, what's going on? He said, Mopar, listen to Cal, he's giving you great information. Yeah, that's basic information right there, man. Follow that. Let her come there with you to meet you in Manila, because that's not that far to that Bico region. Yeah, he's right about this. He says, coming from an ice cream freak, sugar's the worst thing to put in your body. The spare tire on your waist is all from sugar. Yeah, that's right. You couldn't have said anything better than that. But guess what? We're all addicted to sugar now. Try stopping sugar. I did it one time here in St. Carlos City for 60 days, but not totally, because the only time I consumed sugar was at night before I went to bed. I used 8 ounces of grapefruit juice, 2 teaspoons of honey, and 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I drank that the last thing at night and the first thing in the morning to help with digestion and everything like that. But other than that, no sugar at all, man. You talking about going into withdrawal symptoms that first week. It's going to be like when you quit smoking, if you ever stop smoking, or anytime you ever tried to quit any type of drugs, that sugar, man, is hard. You're going to have headaches. I mean, you're going to be in a messed up mood. Dawn May says, I told my wife she's my translator bodyguard. I'm on foreign land and I can't fully protect her like that here unless our lives are on the line. I'm not getting blackballed here. I love the Philippines. And that's a good thing. If you don't believe me, I just told Jay the same thing. I said, you don't want to be wandering around here in the Philippines by yourself. Even though you see a lot of expats doing it, it's not a good thing to do, man. I mean, it's just so easy to have a woman with you to kind of like deflect a lot of that bullshit that's going to come your way if you by yourself. You don't, people like TJ said, they can manufacture to the point where I can't speak English. Now what? Okay. She's going to do a lot for you, man. Instead of you just winding around her. I know guys do it all the time on their motorcycles and different things like that, because I told him that. I said, yeah, don't do that, man. It's so easy to have that woman there. She's going to, even if she can't completely keep you safe, you're going to feel safe. You're going to feel safer just from her being by your side. He says, if you learn the local language, you'll be able to save in the long run. You can avoid the Expat Alley prices when you're able to go to cheaper remote areas. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help you. As far as that, now that woman by your side is going to help you, because then you're going to see me. I'm gonna stay in the hotel, and Merlin will go, because I'm telling you guys, I've been here in St. Carlos City almost 5 years. If I went to the market right now by myself without Merlin, I'm gonna get charged more, even though I'm Sunshine Shows, because they think I got more money than I do anyway. But they're gonna charge me. They can't help themselves. They know I don't know. Okay, it's not like the prices aren't above the fish and the shrimp and the shells or whatever it is I'm gonna buy. Because you'll look, they'll hesitate for just a second. You'll be like, well, how much are the beans? And they'll look up and see you, and you can just see it. That, it's going to be more. So I just let Merlin do that. Yeah, this is true, guys. This is a good way to vet the woman. If she's going to travel, she's real. Merlin came 5 hours That's a long bus ride from here to Dumagetti. And I knew when she showed up, I said, this woman's serious. But every woman I've ever met, except my son's mother, because she was working in Cebu. But every other woman I've ever dealt with, they travel. If they, it lets you know they're serious. My wife, she flew from Zamboanga City. I bought the ticket, but she had never been on a plane before. She cut through all of that to come to see me. That's when you know, yeah, I got a real one. But if they like, oh no, I want you to come here, meet me here, and all of that, you might just throw her back. And a lot of them want you to, they don't mind coming to you anyway because it gives them a chance to come to Manila. Okay, my wife had never been to Manila before. She had never been to Cebu before. Imagine that. She was 24 when I met her. She had never been out of Zamboanga. And most of the women you deal with, that's going to be their history. Unless, they're coming from, a lot of women, they'll come down from the province and they'll get a job in Manila or Cebu or one place like that, working in somebody's house. But for the most part, they don't leave. If you think you've got a six, they got a beeline from their job or to their school to home. That's it. Every now and then they may go over here to go to a batch at the beach, but most like time it's like this. So they'll say, yeah, I'm going to come to Manila, be the first time coming. Marilyn never been to Angeles City. She never been to Bohol, never been to Boracay, Siquijor, none of those places. And Merlin was 36, with a college degree, with a decent job, but they just don't travel. So when you ask the Filipino, is it safe over there? She's guessing. If they tell you, oh, don't go over there, the first thing you should say is, well, have you ever been? Then they're going to say no. Because when you get here, if you come to Cebu or Manila and you say, well, let's go to General Santos, then they're going to say, that's in Mindanao. They don't go down there. They're going to kidnap you. They'll tell you that. It's dangerous there. And they've never stepped foot in Mindanao. Yeah, John knew something at the end. Robert Dane says, buying my mobile home saved my meal ticket. I live 2 stars here. I can live 2 stars life there. And that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. Don't try to jump up because everything looks like a deal. And just because you're paying $600 rent in America is 2 star. Okay, and just because you can jump up to 4 star over here for $600 per month, don't do it. Because now you're going to save that extra $300 or whatever it is, $400 by staying at that 2 star. Those apartments where Geechee Line and Oliver and everybody's staying right now over here in San Carlos City, they're very, very clean, fresh paint. They got everything in there. I'm not going to say it's 3 stars. I'm going to say it's 2 stars, which it is. But that's only 10,000 pesos per month. But the big mistake we make, I'm going to just take this 600 I got and, translate it over to the Philippines. Well, what's the benefit of even being here? Some guy was talking about $800 rent. I'm like, well, I guess you could pay $800 a month in Manila if you some young stud. You don't need to pay that kind of money. You don't need to pay that kind of money, guys, over here in the Philippines. For a Western lifestyle, you don't have to do it. But I've never lived in Manila. I've lived in Cebu. You're gonna get a lot for $800 if you're gonna pay it, and you're gonna overspend because the Horizon 101 and TJ can vouch for me. He lives there. Now, I'm not paying $800 to stay in that thing. I'll pay $25 or $30 a night Airbnb because I'm only gonna be there 1 or 2 nights. But they got roaches. Half the time the 2 of the elevators aren't working. You got to stand in line to get on the elevator. Towels is missing off the floor, in the ceiling. It's a great location, but I'm not paying $800 a month. I'm sorry. Yeah, rest in peace, man. I never talk about what could or should have been, right? But if John was still living, man, see, John, I lost most of my white audience when John left. I lost a lot of people, man, because they could relate to John, where they couldn't relate to me, but we was a team, so they was there. Yeah, I guarantee you. First of all, you're not gonna eat as much, Frank. He said, drink 8 glasses a day. You wouldn't believe the changes your body goes through. But here's the problem. We're not used to drinking water. So now you got to develop a habit, and you got to stop a habit. And we think, oh, it's just too much. We want something for nothing. You can't get something for nothing. Anton Williford said, when I went in my house, I sent my girlfriend. Yeah, that's a great thing to do. You want to do that most times. Yeah, John did. John was his own man. That's why I like John. He wasn't a cosign of none of mine. That's what made us what we were. I didn't put up with John's shit. He didn't put up with mine. I wasn't a yes man for him. He wasn't a yes man for me. Because off camera, guys, remember we was together all the time. We go to different places and see, I didn't even know John was a diehard Trump fan, which I didn't care. You know, I'm open-minded like that. But we used to have all kind of discussions about different things, you know, because he's in his head that the poor people are the problem in America. And I was just trying to tell him that, no, you can't blame what's going on in America on poor people. I'm sorry. You can't do it, man. You know, and he was talking about, you know, see, when people that follow Trump and different things like that, they're talking about getting rid of a lot of government agencies just because a few people are, you know, taking advantage of the system, like disability, right? They want to get rid of disability. They think it's a scam, but I said it's not. I said, just because you see a smidgen of people, you know, skirting the system and taking advantage of it, you're supposed to wipe it out for all the people who really need it. Same with food stamps and all that stuff. I said, what about see, they never want to talk about the corporate welfare. And, you know, it's just, we had those type of discussions, me and John. He said, there's no such thing as $600 rent anymore in the U.S. See, I've been gone too long. I was paying $900 when I left. But the point is, you know, that's how some people think. They'll say, well, hell, I was paying $1,600. They're not being smart like Michael Beecher Life. He said, well, hell, my rent's $1,600. He said, I'm paying for everything, almost a whole year worth of living expenses for $2,500. You can live good over here, man. You just can't go crazy with it. If you want to live in BGC, yeah, you can do it. But I would rather if I'm going to pay $400 or $500 rent, I'm staying in Solanea. It's like a damn country club. The damn swimming pool looks like, you're at a resort, and then they got that nice weight room, and you're just right across, I'm talking about literally right across the street from Ayala Mall. I mean, you're in an upscale 5-star neighborhood. Now, if I'm going to pay $500, that's what I want for my $500. Okay, I don't want Horizon 101 for my $500. I'm sorry. Hey, what's going on? Hell, were you over there by TJ? He says, I don't remember, John. Yeah, see? TJ said, yeah, where you at down in Jam? I live in Bangkok, man. It's something, man, to say you live in Bangkok. But I was just there, man. I mean, Bangkok is such an international city, man. The most visited place. I mean, it's a spectacle. You got to see it, man. You got to see it. The first we arrived at night, right? We arrived about 10:30. We got to our hotel about 11:30. So we just struck out walking where we were. And man, we were close to Nana Plaza. We didn't know it at the time how close we were. We just struck down the street and we're passing all these women of the night, all these prostitutes and lady boys and everything like that from all over the world. And then next thing you know, we went to Burger King and we looked across the street and there's Nana Plaza, where all the freaks are over there. But yeah, even in the daytime, it looks good. You ride there. We rode the BTS. We had a good time, man. I mean, if you're over here in the Philippines, you might as well take a trip over there. You might not make it back. He said, morning, Cal. Whenever you come back to the States, bring a coat and boots. The blizzards are covering us in snow and ice. A friend of mine, David, he just left here. Let me show you what he gave me. This type of subscribers I've got. And he's got one in his house. And he bought this for me. He said, Cal, you can use this. He was showing me how it worked and everything. It's a sight bulb. It's just like you screw it in. Let me see. Yeah, that. You screw it in, and it's like a CCTV. It's like a CCTV. And he was showing me how it works. He's got it hooked up to his phone, and this is the SIM card or the SD card that records everything. And he lives in Rochester, New York, and snow all over the place there. He said, yeah, it's cold. I'm certainly going to postpone my trip. I'm not going to really have a choice, guys. It's just too cold. And I'd have to buy a whole new wardrobe because, we're men. We don't like to wear each other's clothes. Excuse me. It's not like women. My daughters wear each other's clothes. Man, my brother used to get so mad if he seen I wore something of his to school. I mean, really, men, we don't wear each other's clothes. You better not put on nothing of mine. I'm coming home and here you are. You got on my jacket. Man, that's fighting. You're going to fight for that. But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for your super chat, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders, man. I never take it for granted. Expat Alley, man, is something to think about when you want to first come to the Philippines, man. Don't overthink this thing, man, because I'll tell you, you can land in the wrong place. As much as I love St. Carlos City, you land here, ask Vince Lawson, ask Greg Williams. I'm shocked Greg stayed there as long as he did. Young guys can't deal with it. Greg's getting ready to move, but he's already got his place in Iloilo. It's more to their liking. But they came straight to St. Carlos City. Vince didn't last a couple of months, man. It's not a good place for newcomers. It is for somebody later on. But I'm tired of Cebu. I'm tired of Manila. I'm tired of the traffic in Angeles City and all that. And you know your way around now. Oh, I'm going to move to St. Carlos City. So take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. Yeah, John was from West Virginia. His daughter had commented on one of my videos a couple of videos ago, right? And she was thanking me for everything. She was telling you guys, because, I already knew. She says, after all he did for my father and the good friend he was to my father in his last days, He said, she said, I want to apologize for how my mother and my brother treated him. Because I was every end name in the book. You know, the son tried to use me. You know, I bought him on the channel and we started a GoFundMe. But when she told me, said, hey, you know, they don't like you for real. You know, because the mother said, well, who is this Sunshine Shows? And the son said, oh, he's just some Ian that daddy, you know, met in the Philippines. You know, and she said, they ripped me up one side and down the other. All the while I'm helping them. I didn't know it. She put me on. But you know, that's where they're from. Northern Ohio, up in that, you know, strong Trump country where, you know, his family didn't get too much about, you know, black people and stuff like that. And that's their business. But take care, everybody. I'll see y'all next time. What you doing, booby?